I come in, sir?
Please come, Shishir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
So, Shishir, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
So, tell the panel about yourself briefly.
So, my name is Shishir Kumar Singh. I belong to Balia district of Uttar Pradesh. I am a petroleum engineering graduate from IIT-ISM Dhanbad. I have worked as a marketing analytics professional in a business analytics firm, and currently I am posted as Deputy Collector in Varanasi, sir.
Oh, so you got complete your hobbies?
So, my hobbies are 5K running, watching drama series, and reading poetry of revolutionary genres, sir.
So, Shishir, Deputy Collector, you are through the PCS?
Yes, sir.
Achha. So, which batch are you, PCS?
Sir, I'm from 2021 batch.
So, have you started, you're under training or you have got a posting
Sir,
also?
I've completed my training and I got posted 1 month back, sir.
Okay, which is the district where you are posted?
Sir, in Varanasi.
And Varanasi, you told me. So, any subdivision or you are at the headquarters?
Sir, currently I'm at the headquarters.
Mm-hmm. So what work has been assigned to you? Are you doing land revenue work? Or are you looking law and order also? Are you having magistrate powers?
Sir, I'm having magistrate powers, but currently I'm the nodal officer of integrated grievance redressal system.
Okay.
And also I'm involved with anti-encroachment drives for the beautification of city regarding G20 summit, sir.
Okay. So you're looking after the bulldozer campaign?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think about bulldozer strategy? Is it more of a disinformation than reality?
So I think the focus of the government is on the on the lands that have been illegally occupied for a long time, sir. So if that lands are being released, then it will become a productive asset and it will become beneficial for the public, sir. So after a legal process and giving proper time and notice, then in the end, sir, the bulldozers are used to remove the encroachment, sir. But sir, I think there is a little misinformation about the campaign that the first step is the bringing out the bulldozers, wherein reality it is the last step.
Yes, Shishir, encroachments have been removed from time immemorial. So there's nothing new about it.
No.
But probably the misperception, I would say.
Yes.
So how do you remove this misperception?
Sir, I think this misperception can be removed by proper communication, sir. But I also think there is a strategy regarding this campaign, sir. What the government is trying to do through it is trying to send a message: the illegal gotten wealth of mafias and other people will be brought down, sir. So this will discourage the people who have the dreams of becoming future land mafias, sir, because they will know that these things are not sustainable in the long run, sir.
So tell me another thing. On one side, public perception is even the courts have not been cooperating in these campaigns. Every time there is a encroachment drive, the court stays it, even up to the level of the Honorable Supreme Court.
So I think in some cases where the drives have been stayed, the concerns of the courts are justified, sir. Because in any encroachment drive, we need to see the real quantum of the problem. Like if there is a huge population that is residing there from ages, and it is not empowered to sustain its livelihood after that encroachment drive happens, then first we need to look at the resettlement of those people.
Okay,
and
Shishir,
after that,
let me shift to another topic, your petroleum engineering.
Yes, sir.
Right. So tell me, what are the efforts being made both in government as well as private sector to augment the oil exploration in India?
So in India, in the government sector, the primary focus is the exploration of all the geological basins that are available to us. Because currently we have explored only 10% of the geological basins that we have. At the same time, sir, the government has launched a policy to increase the production from discovered small fields. Because earlier those small fields were think not to be economically viable. But with current technologies, we can augment our oil production by slightly, and every drop counts for us because we are an oil importing country. In the private sector, sir, what we are doing, we are bringing new technologies, because some oil fields in India are tight gas reservoirs and they are technically not viable. So from the latest technologies, we can produce gas from those areas. So some of the examples are the production of unconventional resources such as shale gas by using modern technologies such as hydraulic fracturing.
Shishir, a lot of talk in G20 meeting that was held in Bangalore.
Yes, sir.
Something has come out about the global debt vulnerability. What do you mean by global debt vulnerability?
So, the debt is one of the most important part to keep the economy going, sir, because most of the
No, what is happening? Why it is global debt? Where to bail out countries? What is the agenda behind this?
So, I'm not exactly aware about the issue, but I would like to make an educated guess if you permit.
Just try for yes.
Okay, sir. So right now, what we are seeing, the economic conditions of some of the country is not good, sir. They are suffering from balance of payment crisis. So if they are not able to carry forward on their commitment for the debts that they owe to different institutions, then the economy of those countries will crumble and it will cause social and economic unrest in those countries. At the same time, so this is the global debt vulnerability, sir. And if we somehow restructure the loan or provide some support from other institutions or countries, then in the long run, they may be able to recover and give those debts back.
Thank you, Shishir. I pass on to a member.
Thank you, sir.
So, Shishir, you had opted for mathematics.
Yes, sir.
So, the very high class of mathematics, which is so tough,
Yes.
and is not needed in day-to-day activity.
Yes.
Why should we have so much emphasis on that? We should be content with knowing the multiplication tables, at best height and distance.
So I think it depends on the job description of the person of like what kind of mathematics he will require in daily life, sir. I think even as a bureaucrat, we need to have some higher understanding of mathematics.
No, suppose we talk of those equations, Lagrange's equation,
Yes, sir.
some binomial theorems and all.
Yes, sir.
Why do we need that? Also topology.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
So those kinds of things are important for engineers.
Where they are
sir.
required.
For engineers when they are in the field, sir. And also they help to make our mind logical and analytical, sir, which shapes our thought process.
Okay. This old time books, I was reading some old time book of mathematics. They have the formula.
Yes.
For example, the movement of sun and some other things, astronomical bodies, different formulas are written. But how the formulas were derived is not written.
Yes, sir.
And every formula has a correction there.
Yes, sir.
So, whether they were evolved by observation or how come? They are also using trigonometry.
Yes, sir. I would say, sir, it would be a mix of observation and some of the basic knowledge that the people at that time have, sir. Because they had the knowledge about basic trigonometry and geometry, and thus they arrived at a formula, sir. What happens in later period, the modern mathematicians use the advanced understanding that they had to make those formulas exact, sir. So in those books, we might not find the explanation or the whole derivation, but I would say,
is not there.
but I would say that they went through those derivations and then reached the formula. At that time, maybe they didn't think that the putting the derivations were important.
Which maths we can say that it is the Vedic maths, or the concept is not correct? Vedic maths.
So I think the Vedic math is kind of a misnomer, sir, because the Vedic maths that which we see that is being popularized right now as the ways of fast calculations and other thing is actually not found in the Vedas.
It is from the.
Sorry, sir?
You're right. I have also not found it.
Yes.
I have read all.
Yes, sir. So it is from the later part in 1870 or 1890. It was started by a saint. Right now I'm forgetting the name. So he started Vedic mathematics and started giving formulas for easy daily life calculations.
Okay. Tell me, you worked in a small district, Siddharth Nagar.
Yes, sir.
Point is that in Uttar Pradesh, they created lot of small districts
Yes, sir.
which were not having the infrastructure.
Yes, sir.
Do you support such a policy of having small districts where the total area itself may be very less, or maybe small tehsil town declared as a district?
So, Siddharth Nagar was formed from, sir, a very large district of Basti, sir. And sir, currently Siddharth Nagar has 5 tehsils, sir. So, when the district was created, the administration of Basti was a very huge task, sir, with different regions having different problems, sir. After creation of Siddharth Nagar, there has been a special focus on Siddharth Nagar, and there has been an infrastructural push, sir.
Very
By
good. Any district near Varanasi where you are posted now? Such a district very close to Varanasi?
Sir, the district of Chandauli has a similar story, sir. It was carved out from Varanasi, and now it, as like Siddharth Nagar, it is also an aspirational district. And there is special focus on Chandauli, and it is moving forward, sir.
And where is Bhadohi?
So Bhadohi is also nearby Varanasi, sir.
Is it a district or not?
Yes, sir, it is a district.
Is there another district?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In Uttar Pradesh, for so many reasons, there is so much of tourism potential.
Yes, sir.
So tell me one or two places where they have the tourism potential but have not been exploited so far.
So I think, sir, in this case, the best example is of Sonbhadra, which is also near Varanasi, sir. It has amazing natural and scenic beauty, but it has not been tapped yet, sir. I think in the future, sir, it will become one of the hotspots for water sports
That's
and
very
adventure
good.
sports.
How do you
sir.
go to Sonbhadra?
Sir, by road, sir, it is 76 kilometers from Varanasi, sir.
From Varanasi.
Yes, sir.
From Allahabad, if you go, how many kilometers?
Sorry, sir, I'm
Achha.
not.
Okay,
available.
thank you. Thank you. Shishir.
Good morning, Shishir.
Good morning, sir.
Varied interests from cricket to editor to photography. So let's start with cricket.
Yes, sir.
The test match these days is now getting shrunk day by
Yes.
day.
Yes.
Used to be 5 days. Now, if you see the past trend, most of the matches are getting finished in 3 days or maximum 4 days. So, what do you think has gone wrong with the cricket?
I think the emergence of T20 cricket has transformed the Test cricket itself, sir. Now, due to the T20 crickets, there has been a modern way of thinking that if we have to score such and such amount of runs, it doesn't matter whether we score it in 100 overs or we score it in 50 overs, sir. So this approach is being followed by England, sir. Like they are going for a scoring rate of 6 and winning matches in 3 days only, sir. So this is one of the approach. And
What about Australia? They
Yes.
are also doing this. Going the
I
same way?
think the Australians are taking the easy way out. It's hard to defend on a turning track, but it needs patience and strong will to do that. And I think that is the right way. But they are trying to hit their way out of trouble, which is giving them bad results.
So tell me, should 5-day cricket be restricted to 4-day now? There is a talk on that. What is your view on reducing number of days of 5-day match?
So I don't think so. It should be done, sir, because the beauty of a 5-day test match will come in the last session, sir. Suppose a match is hanging in balance and in the last session a team needs 70 runs and 5 wickets, sir. So those scenarios will be removed from test cricket, sir, and it would be
Shishir, I found you edited Petroleum Engineering magazine and you are interested in poetry,
Yes,
revolutionary genre.
yes, sir.
So, who is your favorite poet of revolutionary genre?
So my
And
favorite
why?
poet would be Mr. Ramdhari Singh Dinkar, sir, because of, sir, his varied writings, sir, and the way we can see his thought process changing through his writings as we follow his age, sir. And also the language that he uses is so simple that everybody can understand and connect with those lines, sir.
So, tell me some lines that he has written to counter Ahimsa Parmo Dharma, where he has written on strength is the basis behind your being. You can forgive someone, but only from the position of strength.
So,
Do you
in
remember any lines?
Yes, sir. In the book of Kurukshetra, which is related to his philosophy on the war, sir, in one of the poems he wrote, Chhama daya tab tyag manobal, sabka liya sahara, par narvagr suyodhan tumse kaho kahan kab hara. क्षमाशील हो रिपु समक्ष तुम हुए विनित जितना ही दुष्ट कौरवों ने तुमको कायर समझा इतना उतना ही.
Good. Now coming to oil sector. What is the role of private players in the oil sector?
Sir,
And should we encourage more and more private sectors ever since they have entered?
Sir, the private sector has the advantages of working on small fields and small technologies. So they take one type of field or one type of technology and they will work on it for years and excel in it, sir. So we should use the innovations of the private sector in our fields to increase the oil production, sir.
Shishir, in which areas we are exploring oil and gas now?
So some of the most prominent oil and gas exploration areas in India are one in the Gujarat basin, sir. Another one is in the Assam Arakan basin, sir. In the Krishna Godavari basin, sir. It is partly onshore and partly offshore, sir. Then another interesting basin is Rajasthan basin, sir. In the Barmer area also we are exploring oil, sir. And sir, in the Bombay High, we are making offshore oil and gas productions.
Using the technology that you have read,
Yes.
how will you solve groundwater problem, contamination of groundwater in your state? Let's say state of UP.
So we can use some of the high-end technologies that clean the water, like the RO technologies, which remove the mineral concentrations or arsenic and uranium contamination from the water. Then we can supply it to the people, sir. But the only problem in RO technology is that it creates a huge amount of wastewater, which is perfectly capable of being used as a drinking water or potable water, sir. So we need to also move ahead for some new technology that reduces the wastage of such water, sir.
Shishir, 2 quick questions on maths. What is the sum of first 100 natural numbers?
So can I take a moment? So 5,050, sir.
Good. And last question, which is the least number divisible by 1 to 10? Each one of 1 to 10. Least number divisible by each 1 to 10.
Sorry, sir, I will not be able to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shishir, now UP government is targeting to achieve $1 trillion US economy by
Yes.
2027.
Yes, sir.
So looking at the present level of GSDP and all other assets and infrastructure available in UP, do you think that UP will be able to achieve the target?
Yes, sir, surely UP will be able to achieve that target because there is a huge areas whose potential has not yet been tapped, sir. Like the area of Bundelkhand and the area of eastern Uttar Pradesh, sir. Now the government is providing those destinations as investor friendly by giving them connectivity through expressways, sir. And the localized policies are being followed, sir. The strengths of those areas are being developed into economies, sir. Like in
Are you aware how much percentage growth it would require to achieve from the present level year-on-year basis?
Sir, I have not yet done the calculations, sir.
Okay, no problem. Now, Varanasi last month when this river cruise,
Yes,
Ganges Villas started.
yes, sir.
The Honorable Prime Minister launched that. So, what how do you see the future of river cruise in India? Are there any challenges?
Yes, sir. The challenges to the river cruise in India, the river channel that is being developed, the flow of the Ganges is continuously declining, sir. Due to that declining flow and increasing sedimentation in the river, sir, the river cruise may face difficulty in navigation, sir.
Very good. Okay. This what is the role of coal gasification in energy security of India? Coal gasification
Yes.
in energy security of India.
So some of the coals that we have are present in at very large distances underground, sir. So they cannot be produced by our current technologies of mining, sir. But if we turn that coal into gas, sir, it will meet some of the energy needs of our country. And currently, as we are energy importers, sir, so that energy that we produce domestically will reduce our import bill, sir. Also, sir, at the same time, if we use coal as a gas instead of using it directly, the greenhouse gas emissions will decline, sir. So it is also environmentally friendly.
Very good. But why do we need to import coal when we have got huge reserves? We are importing approximately 200 million tons of coal every year, costing exchequer something like 1.5 lakh, 150 lakh crore rupees as the import bill. So when we have $2 billion tons of coal reserve, so what is the need for importing?
Sir, the coal that we have has very high ash content, sir. So, and it is not a good grade coking coal. Only in very small areas, high grade coking coal is found in India, sir. So we need to import that coal for use in some of the steel plants.
Okay, good. Shishir, are you keeping up happenings under G20 since December? Because 1st December onwards, we are president of G20. India is president of G20. Are you keeping track which group meetings have been held so far?
So I started keeping track recently, sir.
Okay, so recently which meetings have been held last 2 weeks? Let us talk about last 2 weeks.
In the starting of the February
let us talk about last 2 weeks.
So one of the meeting of the finance ministers.
That is ended yesterday. Sir. Apart from that, finance.
So apart from that, sir, I didn't came across any meeting.
Oh, okay, no problem. No. Now, my last question. You mentioned in one of your answers about the aspirational districts. I think the district Siddharthnagar, I think, is an aspirational district. So, are there any indication, Shishir, in the assessment of the government that this program has been doing well and we should go further on this? Is there any indication?
Yes, in aspirational districts program, one of the special focus has been on measuring the outcomes of the program regularly. So there is a delta ranking which measures each improvement on each parameter in each district. So according to those delta rankings, what we have set out to achieve, we have come above 50% in most of the districts.
Very good. So is there any move by the government to move further on this, to further down? Any scheme you are aware?
Yes, sir. Like the program aspirational district was started to highlight some districts which were not well developed. Now we are going on the granular level that even within districts, some blocks may have received good development and some blocks may have been lagging forward. So an aspirational blocks program have been launched.
Thank you, Shishir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Shishir.
Good morning, sir.
Shishir, I would like to know your opinion on renaming of cities.
Yes, sir. So, in the renaming of cities, in some cases, happened due to the cultural connect or to honor some leaders who have played a very important part in national movement or in the history of that city, sir. And when it happens with the popular support of the public, sir, it should be done and it should be celebrated, sir. But sir, the renaming of the cities should not be a whimsical decision where it spreads negativity around us. So that should be avoided.
Okay. Old pension scheme is again coming back in many states. There is a demand for it. So why do you think there is sudden demand for old pension scheme suddenly?
So I think in the old pension scheme, whatever a person gets at the end of his career is more than the new pension scheme, sir. Also, sir, there is a slight skepticism in the people about new pension scheme because they don't understand a lot of the basics of the share market and the kind of the returns it will generate. And when they see that the share market is falling, they are a bit scared that their savings is also getting eroded, sir. That's why, sir, they want to take a safer route of old pension scheme where they exactly know how much they will get at the time.
Don't you think there are political reasons to it also?
Yes, sir, there are some political. There will always be political angles to all the programs that we do, sir.
Okay. If petrol and diesel are bought under the ambit of GST, so what will be the advantages and disadvantages, and what's your opinion? Should it be done or not?
So if it is brought in the GST, the biggest advantage will be that many other industries will be streamlined, sir. Like some of the industries are demanding it, they take petrol and diesel as a feedstock, sir. On that, they pay a huge amount of excise taxes for both to state and center. But when they share their, when they sell their final product, on that they pay GST, sir. And in GST system, we can get input tax credit for the tax that has been paid earlier. But as petrol and diesel are not in the GST sector, they are paying GST also, and they are not getting back their excise taxes. So they are demanding that it should be put into GST so that we get the double taxation is reduced. But sir, currently petrol and diesel is one of the major avenues of revenues for the state governments. If we put it into GST, the fiscal hands of the state governments will be constrained, sir. They will not be able to generate revenues when they need, sir. So the states are against this move, sir.
So what's your opinion? Should it be done or not?
So I think it should be done, sir, but there should be some compensation mechanism for the states, or otherwise there should be some mechanism to help states in time of the need, sir. They should be able to raise revenues in extraordinary times.
Okay, thank you, Shishir. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So Shishir, German Chancellor is here.
Yes, sir.
Germany. Are you aware of it?
Sir, I have not read about it, but yesterday when I was going through the city, there was some VIP movement, and I was
You
told
did not read today's newspaper?
Sir, no, sir, I have not got it.
Yesterday's also?
Sir, yesterday's also.
Okay. So anything, Shishir, we have not covered from your DAF? I can ask the last question if you wish to refer to some topic which we have not covered.
Sir, I think about my job experience as the marketing analytics professional, it has not been covered yet.
Okay.
I had written that, I couldn't ask.
अच्छा,
Shortage of time.
आप पूछ ले.
Yes, I had written especially about your experience of working in cans.
Yes.
You worked in cans, so why did you leave the job?
Sir,
Were you not satisfied? And what was your experience?
it was a temporary position as an intern, sir, and I was very satisfied at that job. I wanted to join it, sir, but the next year when the company came for placement, the oil market crashed, sir. So they stopped the recruitment drive and say we won't be able to recruit this year, sir. So it was just a bad year.
So because it was temporary, so you
Yes,
you
sir.
had to leave.
Yes.
And what was your experience?
So in that company, I saw how the domain expertise is being used. So everybody was very motivated, sir, and they were continuously trying to learn through the new developments that are going on across the world, sir. Like we were working on a tight gas reservoir, sir. So daily we will try to find the new journals of the professors that are being written across the world and try to implement it in the live projects.
Okay.
But you wanted me to ask on business analyst.
Yes.
Right? So what was your role there in this company?
So my role was to interact with our client and understand what are their demands, sir. Then create a system where.
Who were your clients?
So one of the biggest telecom operators in the Southeast Asia was our client, sir. And so we have to use whatever data they have available, collect all those data, and make a simple visualization dashboard where the executives of the company are able to see those dashboards and take day-to-day business decisions based on the feedback they are receiving from the customers or sales data.
So Shishir, we close our interview now. you may proceed to the next room. We'll call you in few minutes to give our feedback.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. So I think that sums up. We also think that you have done very well.
Yes.
And it was a very good performance, Shishir. You were confident about everything that you said. You said it in a very matured manner. Your choice of words, your expressions, your content, your knowledge, all were very good. And just two small things for your further improvement. One is that you looked a little more serious than what is required. Serious? You were fully concentrated on your answering the questions.
Yes.
So one should look a little bit more participative.
Okay.
You could express your smile, something of that kind, and bring some energy. It was a little bit monotonous, right? You were speaking in the same tone, and somewhere I noticed that you were a bit longish.
Yes.
So you need to be structured. For example, in the questions that I asked, you started with this petroleum. Now, what one would wish is that, question was very, you should assume one thing, Shishir, that even with the main UPSC interviews, the time is always a problem.
Yes.
One candidate who has already appeared had mentioned in his transcript that, they were always trying to look at the watch.
Yes.
And there's a strict, instruction from the chairperson. And he also has to go with time. That 5 minutes se zyada nahi, 4 minutes se zyada nahi lena.
Yes.
So everyone is rushing through the questions.
Yes.
ऐसे में अगर आंसर लंबे आते हैं ना, बड़ा फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग हो जाता है.
Okay.
So आपका जैसे ऑयल का आपने कहा, so government में sir, in government sector, government has made this. You did not mention the company where you are working. Cairns तक का आपने reference नहीं दिया.
Yes.
What are the other explorations which are happening? उसका नहीं दिया.
Yes.
You started off with some narrative,
Yes.
right? For private sector also, you did not mention even a single company or a set of companies who are doing exploration. Again, you were very narrative,
Okay.
right? So you should be more structured. So the government has made many efforts. Firstly, this. Secondly, this. Thirdly, this. In order to augment further, government is exploring some more basins. Number 2, government is inviting MNCs to come and explore. Right? Government is setting up more refineries.
Yes.
There are 2-3 refineries. You name the refineries.
Okay.
Right? 1, 2, 3. In the private sector also, sir, lots of things are being done, and we have invited. And if you have read the newspaper, there is a private sector which is going to MNC, which is going to start a oil exploration very soon. And FM has herself invited ki you MNCs, you should come for oil exploration. So there is a great deal of Reliance is doing. Reliance has got some 3 wells also. They have
Yes.
found the 3 places. Are you aware of that?
So in the Krishna Godavari basin.
So बताओ ना,
Yes.
ये स्पेसिफिक बताओ. आपने तो जनरल ऐसे बोला जैसे कोई भी ऑयल एक्सप्लोरेशन का जो जिससे उसका लिंक नहीं है वो बताएगा,
Yes.
है ना. आपको थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट बताना होगा.
Okay.
तो बी मोर स्पेसिफिक एंड मोर स्ट्रक्चर्ड, लेस नैरेटिव एंड टेक लेस टाइम to explain your answers. All right, these are the only things.
Shishir, you're a very good candidate. I am very much impressed by you. You are well balanced in your talk. Now, what is needed? That don't look reserved.
Okay.
Huh? Be participative. So that will improve the thing.
Okay. Sir.
Other than that, whatever has been told already, you have to follow. Okay?
Okay. Sir.
हाँ, थैंक यू. टाई के लिए बताएंगे सर, बता देंगे बाद में, बता देंगे. हाँ.
Same. Very good candidate. Everything, whatever chairman has said, take care of those points.
Okay. Sir.
No other issue that I can bring out. you were fine. Only one reply you could not get. I reply and find out.
Yes. Okay.
316 to 7 is the number. 360 is divisible by
Yes.
all numbers except 7.
Yes.
So multiply it by 7 and that gives you.
Okay.
Well, Shishir, I think I agree with whatever has been said. You are an excellent candidate, very well informed, your communication skill, you are relaxed, confident. Energy level even I found a little bit low. So just raise your energy level.
Okay.
And that will come with one smiling disposition, little bit smile, and then slightly raise your voice, slightly.
Okay.
Okay? And be more participative. You should give an impression that you were to large extent, but just a little bit of improvement as pointed out by Chairman Sir. And keep track of G20 happenings.
Okay.
Because so far, 6-7 group meetings have been held, starting from the Udaipur one.
Okay.
Then we had a run of Kutch on tourism, we had at Agra on women empowerment.
Yes.
Then we had on, Guwahati we had one, we had one in Manipur we had one. So keep track, just 2-3 highlights, just like that, okay? And otherwise, you are, about your tie, I think your tie is very good. But for that occasion of UPSC interview, I think one plain color tie, matching tie would be more appropriate. This is my feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So, Shishir, I share the same opinion. Your interview is in the first half or second half?
So in the second half.
So good. So read newspaper of that day
Okay.
on March 13th, right?
Okay.
Okay. And otherwise, you were very good. Just keep it up. I wish you all the best.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So, tell me, Shishir, anything that you would like to ask us?
Sir, I got the point about the smile and raising my voice, sir. But how to be more participative, sir? This I'm not able to understand, sir.
See, participative would be in the manner that you would be in a more conversation style.
Okay.
When you are conversing, suppose you are in your home and your father's, some intellectual friend comes
Yes.
and you are speaking to him.
Yes.
He asks you a question and you would not, I think, reply the way you are discussing today.
Yes.
It will be a little different.
Yes, sir.
So make it that way. With all courtesies,
Okay.
with all formalities followed,
Yes.
you have to make it as a conversation.
Okay.
We see so many other candidates who come and they are reacting like talking to each other.
Yes.
अभी ये लग रहा था कि आप जैसे एक क्वेश्चन आंसर्स, हमने क्वेश्चन पूछा, आपने आंसर दिया with the same seriousness. Question answer. Now, interview is more of a conversation, and if you see the UPSC guideline also, they have mentioned that it should be in a conversation mode.
Okay.
है ना, आपसे हमने कई बीच में इंटरप्ट करके भी क्वेश्चंस पूछे, तो वो इसलिए पूछे कि कन्वर्सेशन में भी तो ऐसे ही होता है.
Yes, sir.
ऐसा तो ना होता है कि आप पूरा हैव यू फिनिश्ड, अब मैं बोलूँगा, हैव यू फिनिश्ड, अब मैं बोलूँगा.
Yes.
बीच में हम भी बोल लेते हैं, बीच में आप उसका जवाब भी देते हो, है ना. तो वो थोड़ा सा ऐसा लगा, और ये जो एनर्जी आप में आ जाएगी ना,
Yes.
और थोड़ा सा जोर से बोलोगे, ये भी एक तरह से पार्टिसिपेशन का डिफेंसिव नहीं लगता कि आप बिल्कुल टेरराइज्ड हो कि आप क्वेश्चन आया, अब दूसरा क्वेश्चन आया, है ना. It should be ease with which you speak.
Okay.
That is participation.
Exactly.
इसमें सर एक चीज ऐड करूंगा. जैसे मेंबर सर या कुछ बोल रहे हैं, क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहे हैं ना, अभी भी आप बहुत सीरियसली देख रहे हो.
Yes.
हाँ, तो क्वेश्चन पूछते समय अगर आप उस समय आप स्माइल करोगे ना, तो अपने आप पार्टिसिपेटिव लगोगे.
Exactly.
कि हाँ, यस, वेलकमिंग लगोगे.
Yes.
आप बहुत सीरियसली देख रहे हो.
Yes.
हाँ, अब देखो, अब आपने स्माइल किया तो आप अच्छे लग रहे हो.
Okay.
हाँ, तो इससे भी
भयभीत
फर्क
लग रहा हो,
पड़ेगा.
भयभीत.
Yes.
ये
वो
बात
नहीं करना.
हाँ, ये बड़ा एकदम नुआंस पॉइंट बताया आपको कि जो आप पार्टिसिपेटिव की बात कर रहे थे, तो पार्टिसिपेटिव कैसे लगूं मैं, तो उसका चेयरमैन सर ने भी बताया और उन्होंने भी अपने ऑनरेबल मेंबर ने भी बिल्कुल क्लैरिफाई कर दिया कि जैसे मैं क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ, तो जैसे आप घर में बात करते हैं, जैसे सर ने बोला घर में कोई आता है तो हम लोग क्या है, उसमें चेहरे पे मुस्कान रहती है, वी आर मतलब एक वो आंखों में इवन योर आई स्माइल. तो उस तरह का यू आर वेटिंग. व्हेन आई आस्क क्वेश्चन आई विल टेक 10 to 15 सेकंड ऑब्वियसली. तो दो 10 to 15 सेकंड यू शुड हैव ए स्माइलिंग डिस्पोजिशन ऑन योर फेस, सो दैट मतलब मुझे लगना चाहिए यू आर वेटिंग वेरी एक्साइटेडली अबाउट माय क्वेश्चन. right? Like that. But it is a very nuanced thing. You have to, you will understand. You look at the video also, but
Yes.
then probably you will be able to make out.
Oh,
Anything else, Shishir?
no, sir.
Okay. So, Shishir, you are a very good candidate. We have given you very high. Despite all these corrections which you need to bring in, you are a very good candidate.
Yes.
And our marks will convey this message that you have really done well. 71% we have given.
90 or 95.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Is this your first round in the UPSC interview?
So, second interview.
So, when did you appear last?
So in 2019, sir.
19. How much did you get there?
So 154 marks.
Why so less?
So I think that day I performed really bad, sir. I think it was one off day.
Bad.
I was doing really well at mocks, but I knew in the interview that something bad happened. It started with the first question itself. I was not able to answer, and then, sir, it went
And today
off track,
you gave your own impression that it went well.
sir. Yes.
Today's was much better than that time.
Yes, sir, it was much better.
So that shows.
Yes, sir.
So don't bother about 150.
Yes.
Just look forward to what we have indicated, but follow all the smaller things which we have told you.
Okay, sure, sir.
Your knowledge or content, current affairs आपका देखिए 2 दिन अखबार नहीं पढ़े कैसे हो सकता है? When I am aghast. मतलब आप इंटरव्यू पे जाएंगे और अखबार नहीं पढ़ के जाएंगे तो बड़ा नुकसान होगा आपका।
अखबार तो डेली पढ़ना पड़ेगा आपको एवरी डे, ताकि वो माइंड में रजिस्टर होता रहे क्या डेवलपमेंट हो रही है, इंक्रीमेंटल क्या हो रहा है ना?
मतलब वो क्या ना, दिया तले अंधेरा नहीं हो सकता। बड़ी बड़ी चीज़ें ऑयल एक्सप्लोरेशन का तो बड़े आप नॉलेज आपको है, और आज की कुछ बात हुई हो वहाँ पे आपने एक क्वेश्चन पास कर दिया, तो एकदम इफेक्ट पड़ता है उसका।
Yes.
ऑयल एक्सप्लोरेशन का इतना लामलाज है, एक कंट्री का नाम नहीं बताया, डजंट मैटर। लेकिन आपने कहा कि आज ये आपने सुना होगा जर्मनी का वो, सर पता नहीं, बट कलेक्टर हो के आपको पता ही नहीं, आप जो डिप्टी कलेक्टर हो कि ज़िले में क्या हो रहा है, या कोई सूचना आपको नहीं पहुंच रही है, मैंने देखा नहीं, इट इज़ इम्पार्डनेबल। ठीक है ना, इसको ध्यान रखो।